Your garden is sitting next to a fertilizer factory right now. Not a building, not a machine, not a product you need to order online. A living, growing, constantly producing fertilizer factory that is available to every single person on Earth regardless of where they live, what they earn, or how much gardening experience they have. It is sitting in your garden right now. You have probably pulled it out of the ground 100 times and thrown it away. You have probably sprayed it with chemicals to make it disappear. You have probably looked at it with frustration every single spring and wondered how to get rid of it permanently. And the entire time, it was trying to feed your garden for free. Today, that stops. Because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you how to turn the weeds you have been fighting your entire gardening life into the most powerful liquid fertilizer you have ever put on your plants. It takes 10 minutes to make. It costs absolutely nothing. And the results will make you genuinely angry that nobody ever told you this before. If you believe that everything your garden needs is already growing around it, you are exactly where you belong. At Lost Green Knowledge, we uncover the forgotten plants, ancient growing wisdom, and natural techniques that fed entire civilizations before the gardening industry. Convince the world that fertility needed to be purchased. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because what we are about to make together today is something ancient farmers knew instinctively, and something that modern gardening has spent decades trying to make you forget. Before I show you how to make this fertilizer, I need to tell you something about the weeds in your garden that will change how you see them forever. Weeds are not random. They are not accidents. They are not nature being careless. They are not your enemy. Weeds are the Earth's first response system. When soil is depleted, compacted, or low in specific nutrients, specific weeds appear to address exactly those deficiencies. Dandelions grow where calcium and potassium are low. Their deep taproot drills down through compacted subsoil, pulling up minerals that no shallow-rooted vegetable can reach, and depositing them on the surface through their leaves when they die. Nettles grow where phosphorus and iron are abundant. Their presence actually indicates fertile soil, and their extraordinary mineral content reflects exactly what they have been accumulating from that fertility. Comfrey grows deep. Its roots can penetrate 6 feet into the earth, mining calcium, potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium from depths that nothing else in your garden can access. Cleavers, plantain, chickweed, yarrow. Every weed that grows in your garden is drawing specific minerals from the soil and concentrating them in its leaves. Ancient farmers understood this. They called these plants dynamic accumulators, organisms that gather and concentrate specific minerals into their above-ground tissue, making those minerals available to everything around them when the plant decomposes. And they discovered something extraordinary about these plants. When you steep them in water, when you let their mineral-laden leaves and stems break down in liquid, those concentrated minerals become immediately plant-available in a form that roots can absorb within hours. Not days, not weeks, hours. This is liquid fertilizer in its most ancient, most natural, most biologically intelligent form. And it has been growing in your garden this entire time. So let us make it. The basic method is so simple it almost feels like it cannot work, but it does. And once you see what it does to your plants, you will never look at a weed the same way again. Here is what you need: a bucket, any bucket. 5 liters, 10 liters, 20 liters, any size works. Plastic, metal, ceramic. It does not matter. Water. Rainwater is ideal because it has no chlorine that might slow the fermentation process. But tap water left in an open container for 24 hours to off-gas the chlorine works perfectly well. And weeds, that is it. No equipment, no chemicals, no measurements, no specialized ingredients. Just a bucket, water, and the plants that are already growing in your garden for free. Now, which weeds do you want? This is where ancient knowledge becomes genuinely useful. Because different plants bring different nutritional profiles to your liquid fertilizer. Comfrey is the single most powerful dynamic accumulator you can use. Its leaves are extraordinarily rich in nitrogen. Potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium, essentially a complete fertilizer profile in a single plant. If you can grow comfrey in your garden, and it grows anywhere in almost any condition, it should be the foundation of your liquid fertilizer. Nettles are the second most powerful choice. They are extraordinarily high in nitrogen and iron, making them particularly valuable as a spring growth promoter when plants need nitrogen most urgently after winter. Dandelion leaves bring potassium, calcium, and a range of trace minerals that most purchased fertilizers completely ignore. Their mineral profile is remarkably broad precisely because their taproots mine so deep. Yarrow concentrates copper and brings a range of beneficial compounds that support plant immune function, something no synthetic fertilizer can replicate. Horsetail is extraordinarily high in silica, the mineral that strengthens plant cell walls, makes stems thicker and more resistant to wind damage, and has been shown to increase plant resistance to fungal disease. Borage is rich in potassium and calcium and has been used as a companion plant and liquid fertilizer ingredient for centuries in traditional European kitchen gardens. Chickweed, cleavers, plantain. Any and all of these add to the mineral complexity of your brew. And the more diverse your ingredient list, the more complete the nutritional profile of your final fertilizer. The simple rule is this: use whatever is growing abundantly in and around your garden. Nature has already decided which minerals your specific soil needs to accumulate, and the weeds growing there reflect exactly that. Your local weeds are making fertilizer calibrated specifically for your local soil. This is ecological intelligence that no purchased product can match. Now the method. Fill your bucket roughly half to 2/3 full with your chosen plant material. Pack it down firmly. You want as much leaf and stem material as possible in contact with the water. Cover completely with water. Place a loose lid on top, something that allows air to escape but keeps debris and insects out. A piece of wood, a loose-fitting lid, a piece of cloth secured with twine. It does not need to be sealed. It must not be sealed. This process needs to breathe. Now wait. Here is where most people give up before they get results, because this process takes time, and during that time it smells. Not a little dot, it smells genuinely terrible. The breakdown of plant material in water produces compounds that are biologically active and extraordinarily plant available, and those compounds have a smell that is difficult to ignore. Ancient farmers dealt with this by placing their fermentation buckets away from living areas, in a corner of the garden, behind a shed, against a fence. Out of the immediate living space, but still accessible. In warm summer temperatures, your liquid fertilizer will be ready in 2 to 4 weeks. In cooler spring or autumn temperatures, it may take 4 to 6 weeks. You will know it is ready when the plant material has broken down completely into a dark brown or near black liquid. The smell will actually reduce slightly as the fermentation completes. The liquid will smell earthy and rich rather than aggressively rotten. Now, how to use it. This is critical. Do not apply this liquid fertilizer neat, dilute it. The standard ancient ratio, used across traditional farming cultures from Europe to Asia, was approximately 1 part liquid fertilizer to 10 parts water for general feeding. 1 to 24 young seedlings or sensitive plants. The liquid will be dark brown or black. When diluted to the right ratio, it should look like weak tea, a pale amber brown. Pour this diluted liquid directly onto the soil around your plants, not onto the leaves, onto the root zone. The roots are where the nutrients need to be delivered. Apply every 1 to 2 weeks during the active growing season. The results you will see follow a consistent pattern. Within 48 hours of the first application, if your soil biology is reasonably healthy, you will notice a deepening of the green color in your plant leaves. This is the nitrogen response. It is fast and it is visible. Within 1 week, you will notice accelerated growth. Not dramatic overnight explosions, but a visible increase in the rate at which new leaves are forming. New growth tips are extending. New flower buds are appearing. Within 2 to 3 weeks of regular application, you will notice a change in the soil surface around your plants. It will begin to darken slightly. The texture will begin to improve. Worm activity will increase visibly as the organic compounds from the liquid fertilizer feed the soil biology beneath. Within a full growing season of regular application, you will have soil that looks and behaves fundamentally differently from soil that has only received synthetic fertilizer. Because synthetic fertilizer feeds the plant directly but does nothing for the soil, this liquid feeds the plant and simultaneously feeds the soil biology that makes the plant stronger, more disease-resistant, more drought-tolerant, and more nutritious in every season that follows. I want to be honest with you about something. This method is not new. It is not a discovery. It is not an invention. It is not a hack or a trick or a biohack or any of the other words that modern content uses to make ancient knowledge sound novel. It is simply what people did. For thousands of years before there were garden centers, before there were fertilizer bags with nitrogen percentages printed on them, before there was an industry built on convincing you that your garden cannot feed itself without their products, people walked to the edge of their fields, collected the plants growing there, steeped them in water, and poured the result onto their crops. They did not know the chemistry behind it. They did not measure the nitrogen content. They did not need to. They watched their plants. They observed what worked. They passed the knowledge to their children. They refined it over generations. And it worked. It worked so consistently, so reliably, and so completely that entire civilizations built their agricultural systems around it. The knowledge did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because it could not be sold. You cannot put a patent on a nettle. You cannot charge $30 a bag for dandelion leaves. You cannot build a billion-dollar industry on a bucket and some weeds. So the industry built something else instead, and quietly, over generations. The knowledge of what was growing in the garden and what it was offering, completely freely, endlessly, perfectly calibrated for your specific soil, faded from common practice. But it did not disappear completely. It is here, in the weeds at the edge of your garden right now, in the dandelions coming up through your path, in the nettles growing against your fence, in the comfrey spreading along your garden edge. In every plant you have ever pulled out and thrown away, they were always trying to feed your garden. Today you finally let them. If this video gave you something real, a practice you can start this afternoon with nothing but a bucket and whatever is growing around you, please leave a like. It tells YouTube that this knowledge deserves to reach every gardener who is still spending money on something that has been growing free in their garden all along. Subscribe to Lost Green Knowledge for more forgotten techniques, ancient growing wisdom, and natural practices that your garden has been waiting for. And share this video with every gardener you know who is still buying fertilizer. Because somewhere in their garden right now, the fertilizer is already growing. They just do not know it yet.